Each of you has the power to change hearts, transform lives, and shape your country's destinies. With this power comes an obligation, however, a duty of loyalty to the people, workers, and customers who have made you who you are.
Donald Trump addressed a room filled with business and political leaders by arguing that true leadership carries responsibilities far beyond personal success. He told the audience that every leader has the power to influence lives, shape communities, and even affect the future of entire nations. But with that influence, he said, comes a duty to remain loyal to the workers, customers, and ordinary people whose trust made that success possible. Rather than viewing leadership as simply building wealth or expanding a business, Trump framed it as an obligation to create jobs, strengthen the economy, and put citizens first. His remarks reflected a broader message he has repeated throughout his political career, that strong leadership should deliver tangible results for everyday people. The speech emphasized accountability, loyalty, and the belief that leaders should never lose sight of those who help them reach positions of influence.
Everywhere we see greed and bigotry being celebrated, and bullying and mockery masquerading as strength, we see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption are reaping untold rewards every single day.
During a powerful address reflecting on the legacy of John Lewis, Barack Obama warned that society had begun rewarding the wrong qualities. He criticized a culture where bullying and mockery are too often mistaken for strength, while honesty, expertise, and compassion are pushed aside. Obama argued that science, knowledge, and public service should be respected rather than dismissed, and he expressed concern that cruelty, corruption, and dishonesty were becoming increasingly normalized in public life. Without naming specific political figures, he challenged Americans to reject those trends and instead embrace values rooted in truth, empathy, and accountability. His message was that democracy depends not only on laws and institutions, but also on the character of the people who lead and those who choose their leaders. It was a call to protect principles that extend far beyond politics.
They used to go in and rob the restaurants. You'd feel safe in a restaurant. It was like the old Wild West. They'd say, stick 'em up, give me your money. The whole restaurant is handing them money. And now if that ever happened, those people would be in deep trouble, deep. We hit them very hard. And we have...
Obama continued by offering his own definition of what genuine strength really looks like. He argued that strength isn't measured by insults, intimidation, or the ability to dominate others. Instead, he said real strength comes from working hard, accepting responsibility for mistakes, telling the truth even when it's uncomfortable, and standing up for those who cannot defend themselves. He encouraged young people to embrace integrity over ego and compassion over cruelty, saying these are the values society should pass on to future generations. According to Obama, leadership isn't about demanding respect, it's about earning it through character and consistent actions. His remarks challenged audiences to rethink what qualities they admire most in public figures, and reminded them that lasting leadership is built on service rather than self-interest.
So together, let us resolve to use our power, our resources, and our voices, not just for ourselves, but for our people, to lift their burdens, to raise their hopes, and to empower their dreams, to protect their families, their communities, their histories, and their futures.
Trump concluded by describing what he believed should be the central purpose of leadership, improving the lives of the people being served. He said the goal is not simply personal achievement, but lifting burdens, raising hopes, empowering dreams, and protecting families, communities, and the nation's future. Trump argued that these principles guided his administration's priorities, pointing to economic growth, job creation, and public safety as examples of putting Americans first. He framed leadership as delivering practical results rather than making promises, insisting that government should focus on creating opportunities and strengthening communities across the country. The remarks reflected one of the central themes of his presidency, that elected officials should be judged by what they accomplish for the people they represent. Whether supporters or critics agreed with that vision, the speech underscored his message that leadership should always be measured by its impact on ordinary Americans. Although Barack Obama and Donald Trump offered very different visions of leadership, both argued that those in positions of power have a responsibility to serve the people. Their speeches reveal two contrasting philosophies on strength, character, and public service, giving Americans very different ideas about what effective leadership should look like. Ultimately, it's up to voters to decide which vision best reflects the kind of leadership they want.